Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, Victoria police suspend funeral escorts during staffing shortages. A judge lowers the bond for a North Texas teenager accused in a deadly high school track meet stabbing. And at least 6 people are hurt after an explosion levels a house in Austin.
Plenty of sunshine for this Easter week. We're also going to be picking up some pretty strong winds, and we'll be talking about that coming up in a moment.
And the Currie women's track and field team are ready to become double champs at regional this weekend. We'll hear from some of the Currie Lady Gobblers coming up in sport.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker. Shawna Currie is on assignment. New at 6 today, just before noon, Victoria County Sheriff's School Resource Officers at the Victoria West campus were notified of a potential threat made by a male student. After an investigation, deputies identified and made contact with a 16-year-old boy. He was taken into custody and is now facing charges for making a terroristic threat. He was then taken to the juvenile detention facility. Officials confirmed no weapon was found and no injuries have been reported. The investigation is still ongoing. Starting today, the Victoria Police Department is temporarily halting routine funeral escorts for funeral homes. Victoria Police say the halt is due to staffing shortages and limited vehicle availability. VPD officials say the suspension is necessary to ensure officers can respond to emergency calls without delay. Last year, the department provided around 350 funeral escorts. Funeral homes are now responsible for reminding families to follow traffic laws during processions and exploring other ways for smooth routes. VPD has not provided a timeline for when the service may resume. Starting Tuesday, the Victoria County Sheriff's Office will partner with Grace Funeral Home to provide official law enforcement escorts for funeral processions. It's part of the Sheriff's Office's efforts to support the community and ensure the safe and respectful passage of families and their loved ones during funeral services. Other funeral homes in Victoria County that want to arrange for funeral escorts can contact the Victoria County Sheriff's Office. And this brings us to our viewer poll today. Are law enforcement funeral escorts necessary for public safety? Your choices are A, yes, it ensures safety and respect. B, no, it's not necessary. C, depends on the situation. Overwhelmingly, A wins. 85% of our voters say yes, these escorts ensure safety and respect. We thank you for voting. We want to hear from you. Visit crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part, and we'll have the latest results at 10. Voters in Victoria are given another opportunity to learn about the proposed venue tax and community center master plan. The city of Victoria hosted a come and go answer session to explain the renovations and how the project would be funded. Lisa Woodby with Victoria's Parks and Recreation Department says the community center expansion could create more space for people to enjoy facilities like the banquet hall, rodeo arena, and an expo hall. Woodby encourages anyone who is unable to attend an information session to visit the city website to learn more.
It's very important to be open about the processes that it takes to build something of this magnitude and the impact it's going to have in the short term and the long term.
The proposed venue tax would add a 5% vehicle rental tax and a 2% additional hotel tax in the city to cover $15 million of the $35 million expansion project. The League of Women Voters of Victoria and the University of Houston Victoria are teaming up to host a community election forum. It will include ballot items for the City of Victoria's proposed venue tax, along with Victoria Mayoral and Victoria ISD school candidates. The event is this Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. in the Walker Auditorium on the UHV campus. If you cannot make it in person, you can watch on Teams. You can also email any specific questions you have for the guests to wagnerw@uhv.edu. .edu. Victoria County Judge Ben Zeller testified before the Texas House Committee on Ways and Means today about a bill that would help the Victoria Regional Airport. House Bill 4222 would let Victoria County use hotel occupancy tax revenue to improve the county airport and support economic development. Tomorrow, Judge Zeller is scheduled to give testimony before the Texas House Committee on Higher Education on a possible move of the University of Houston Victoria to the Texas A&M system. The committee is considering House Bill 5150, filed by Representative A.J. Louderback, District 30. That is the House companion bill to the Senate bill relating to the transfer of UHV to the A&M system. April is Child Abuse Protection Month, and local Child Protective Service agents say there are ways for the community to help. CPS agent Stephanie Lowe is assigned to the region. She says residents should keep an eye open for physical signs for abuse, such as frequent cuts, bruises, or burns. There are several resources for residents to learn some of the signs to look out for with local children. She says the job of CPS isn't to take children away, but to create a safe environment with their immediate family.
It's everybody's responsibility to report abuse or neglect. It does have its signs. Not everything that we look for is indicative of a person. And our first and main goal is child safety.
The Texas Health and Human Services has resources for parents needing tips and help with parenting. If you suspect a child is being abused or neglected, call the Child Abuse Hotline at 800-252-5400 or go to txabusehotline.org. The Victoria County AgriLife Extension Office is getting a new leader. Kara Matheny will soon take over as County Extension Agent, replacing Matt Bochat, who retired in January. Matheny brings 15 years of experience to Victoria County, serving as Extension Agent in both Washington and Colorado counties. Matheny says Victoria County has a lot of potential and is looking forward to beginning her new role.
Looking forward to joining a really great staff with JJ and Paige. I think they've got a really good grasp on things, and plan to follow their lead and see what I can do to join in on the team part and see what we can do for Victoria County Extension.
Matheny is a graduate of Texas A&M University. She begins her new job as Victoria County Extension Agent May 1st. Lather, rinse, repeat. The great weather continues. Let's go to Mac Pettis with a first look at the forecast. This is really awesome, Mac. Very nice.
Really is very cooperative. In fact, you know, this week being Easter week, a lot of people traveling, a lot of people have plans for the weekend. We're going to be taking a look at all of that. Right now, we've got generally gusty winds, nothing bad, but this little frontal system tomorrow will help knock them down. After that, then by the end of this week, it's going to be howling. So the winds is really the only fly in the ointment that we're going to talk about. And we'll have all details and take a look all the way to Easter Sunday coming up in a moment. Back to you, Don.
Mac, thank you. A judge lowered the bond for a North Texas teenager accused in a deadly stabbing at a high school track meet. 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony is accused of stabbing and killing 17-year-old Austin Metcalf after an altercation. A judge this morning reduced Anthony's bond from $1 million down to $250,000. Anthony will be under strict house arrest and will have to wear an ankle monitor. He must have adult supervision with an approved adult at all times, and he must also check in with the court every Friday.
This has definitely rocked our entire community, and so it has struck a nerve in the community, and it's hard for everybody to be level-headed at a time like this. So that's where we come in. It's our job to be level-headed, to be fact-based, and to follow the truth wherever it leads.
A police document shows that Anthony said he was protecting himself from Metcalf. At least 6 people were hurt after an explosion leveled a house in Austin. This happened Sunday morning. 2 people were in the house. One is in critical condition. The other was seriously hurt. The explosion damaged more than a dozen other homes in the area. One neighbor was critically hurt. 2 firefighters and another person at the scene also suffered injuries. Communities as far as 20 miles away heard the blast. 4 people tied to the Harris County Sheriff's Office committed suicide recently, calling attention to ongoing mental health struggles among law enforcement. To read the full Texas Tribune article, visit our website, crossroadstoday.com. After almost 3 decades with Wharton County Junior College, President Betty McCrohan announced she will retire effective August 31st. McCrohan has been president of Wharton County Junior College since June 2001. As president, she has overseen the openings of 3 new campuses, 1 in Matagorda County and 2 in Fort Bend County. President McCrohan has worked in higher education for more than 40 years. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Then you can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. And stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6, Houston said goodbye to former world heavyweight champ Big George Foreman today. Also ahead, from California girls to West Texas women, Katy Perry gets to travel in space on Blue Origin.
A zebra sanctuary in Bloomington, a nonprofit promising beautification. But where's the money really going?
What does zebras got to be beneficial for?
Our 7-month investigation uncovers a tangled web of nonprofits, LLCs, and real estate deals, leading to allegations of bribery, document falsification, and intimidation. A town at a crossroads, a fight for transparency. Don't miss Money, Power, and Incorporation. A 25 News Now Extra, Thursday night at 10.
Family, friends, and the public gathered in Houston today to honor the life and legacy of boxing legend Big George Foreman, who died March 21st at age 76. Foreman won the World Heavyweight Championship twice, in 1973 and again in 1994 after a 10-year absence from the ring. At 45 years old, he was the oldest man to win the championship. He then became a businessman, pitchman, and actor. Speakers at the memorial service included retired boxer Michael Moore, who Foreman knocked out in 1994 to become world champion a second time. 6 women, including pop star Katy Perry, launched into space for several minutes today on a Blue Origin rocket out in West Texas. The company says it's the first all-female space flight since 1963. The women say it was life-changing.
It's blastoff for the first all-female space crew since the 1960s. Liftoff. A Blue Origin rocket taking 6 women up into space for 11 minutes this morning, including pop star Katy Perry, journalist Gayle King, and Lauren Sanchez, the fiancé of billionaire and Blue Origin founder Jeff Bezos. The spaceship launched from West Texas, reaching a height of about 65 miles above Earth. You can hear the women reacting as they experience zero gravity.
Look at the moon. Look. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Then parachuting back down to Earth, landing in the Texas desert.
There it is.
The newly minted astronauts emerging from the capsule, Bezos and Sanchez embracing, Katy Perry and Gayle King both kissing the Earth.
We just appreciate the ground. I don't think you can describe it. Earth looked it was so quiet, but then also really alive. And you look at it and you're like, we're all in this together.
Friends and family on the ground, Oprah Winfrey emotional watching as her best friend Gayle launched into space, and Katy Perry's daughter also watching on. For Gayle, this flight was about overcoming her fears, including her fear of flying.
And now that I've done it, I really do feel I can take on anything.
Katy Perry singing What a Wonderful World while in space.
It's about a collective energy in there. It's about us. It's about making space for future women and taking up space and belonging. And it's about this wonderful world that we see right out there and appreciating it.
Katy Perry says she plans to write a song about this experience. All of the women emotional, reflecting on their time in space, remarking about how quiet it was up there and how quiet Earth seemed from above. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Crossroads Today is inviting you to join in and celebrate Earth Day by showing off your doodles. Show us what Earth Day means to you. We'll share your Earth Day doodles on our social media and feature one doodle per day on Sunrise. Submissions are open now through April 25th. Just come to our website, crossroadstoday.com. Southern California was rocked by a strong earthquake this morning near San Diego. The earthquake had a preliminary magnitude of 5.2 and was near the mountain town of Julian, east of San Diego. Authorities said they received no immediate reports of damage or injuries. The quake swung light fixtures and rattled shelves in San Diego and was felt as far north as Los Angeles. Now, Mac, how many earthquakes have you experienced?
I went through 3 large ones that caused significant damage and then a whole bunch of little ones because sometimes, you know, they just last for about 15 seconds. The interesting thing about all that, there's a company that was predicting the earthquake for the 15th, which is tomorrow. It occurred today. Well, maybe they figured out something that we're all going to want to know about. Well, for us, we've got a terrific looking weather. Our temperature right now running at about 80 degrees. Our high temperature today, well, the winds are still out of the southeast at 15. Our high was 85, 64 the morning low. We're looking at really good weather all the way through Easter Sunday, but the wind is the only thing that's going to be an issue. In fact, if you, tossed up an Easter egg, it'll wind up in Yoakum real quick. So we'll talk more about that coming up in a moment. Welcome back, everybody. Of course, being Easter week, a lot of people will be traveling this week. Also, being outdoors, and There's a few things in Texas weather that we need to talk about. For today, however, lots of sunshine. There's a little front right about here, but it's a dry line. It's not going to be much of anything. Generally speaking, tomorrow will be a gorgeous day. Low humidity is always appreciated around here. Tonight, the only stormy weather is really occurring right there in West Virginia and Kentucky. Also, believe it or not, the upper peninsula of Michigan, the Michiganders are getting a little bit of snow. Pretty interesting late in the season in April. For us, south winds will be, well, tomorrow they're not going to be a major factor. In fact, they may settle down. It's later in this week, beginning on Wednesday, when they'll be fairly strong, come probably in the 35, possibly even to the 40-mile-an-hour range. But we have to wait for that big low. You see that one right there? It's going to start moving this way. And when it gets up here, then that's when our strong winds will be developing. So that's not too far away from now. Here's the storm causing the precipitation up north. This area of low pressure is very interesting. This is called a cutoff low. What it is a circulation in the higher levels of the atmosphere, and it's cut off from the main flow. Across North America, we have what's called the prevailing westerlies. Well, this is going to be sort of wandering around out there for a day or two. Predicting it is kind of tricky, but once it starts to move, it'll be going right over the Rockies and just clipping North Texas. That's when we may have some stormy weather up north. And I'll show you that in a moment. Temperatures, however, are staying fairly steady in the mid-80s. No major problems. As long as the humidity is low, it's really delightful. But by tonight, we may start seeing a little bit of fog along the immediate coastline. Inland areas of Texas continue with the arid weather. Now, let's go forward here. This is your Tuesday map. We're going forward into Wednesday. Tuesday, no major problems through Wednesday as well. A little bit of cloud cover begins to show up along the coast because of the southerly winds. And as we get into Thursday and on into Friday, still generally quiet, but rather getting a little bit more humid for us. Here we go Friday, and then on Saturday, there you see the stormy weather right here. Here, see the low, see the storm? That's snow in the Rockies. That storm pushes into the Midwest, and big weather is going to be happening here. Now, this is your Sunday early, and then Sunday late, right about here, more stuff moving through. So if you happen to be in North Texas for the Easter weekend, you'll have to deal with that. Now, what about us? Well, we're just too far south. It's going to move through here on Monday with a slight chance of something happening in terms of precipitation, but it's really very, very weak. So I'm going to say it's going to be rain-free all the way through Easter Sunday. The winds is the only problem that we'll deal with. Tomorrow, not bad on the winds. It's later in the week when it really starts to howl. We're looking at an 84 tomorrow with a few clouds in Cuero. And as you can see right about here on your 7-day, we've got breezy conditions by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Well, we will be talking really strong winds right there. And then it settles down just in time for Easter. So I think you've got a great looking week ahead for all of your outdoor Easter plans. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that and put Crossroads Today on your phone. Don, back to you.
Mac, thank you. Max Williams is here with the Crossroads Spring Sports Update.
That's right, Don, because guess what? We're into golf regionals right now, and after the break, we're going to look at how the 4A Region 4 golf regionals did at Colony Creek Golf Course for day one. I'll tell you all those results coming up in sports. Happy Monday here, crowd. So hope everyone had a great weekend. We had the weather up in the upper 80s. Some people probably enjoyed themselves, probably getting in the pool this weekend, and again, probably getting some sun. But also, you know who also had a great week last week? The Quail Lady Gobblers track team. They became the area champions. Now they're focusing their attention to the 4A Region 4 regional meet that'll start there this Friday in morning at Texas A&M at Kingsville University. So today, 25 News Now sports reporter Ray Robinson went up to Quail to see how the girls team is preparing for this week.
This Friday, the Quail Lady Gobblers will prepare for some regional track and field action. I got a chance to catch up with some of these young ladies who are excited for the big day.
It's exciting, and I'm excited to see what our team's going to be able to do. Well, in general, our team is like really close, and we all know each other pretty well, and we've ran with each other for a long time, so I mean, it's pretty much we're like kind of like sisters, so.
It feels really good to, advance for the third time in a row with Mari and Emery. Really excited that we made it in all 3 relays.
And I feel confident about this race, and I really want to qualify for state. This is my first time doing a race, honestly.
Practicing every day. Each day I pick something to work on, and then when I go into the meet, I clear my head and say just jump, and then put everything I put into practice into my work on Friday, and then it goes from there.
It's just we're going as a team, and so we have to all strive to work together and push to do our best. I'm practice and pushing myself to do my best to make sure that I can do my best in both races.
That's right, these young ladies are all excited for regional. Coming up at 10, I'm going to talk to some of the boys who are also regional qualifiers. Coming up at 10. Max, back to you.
Thanks, Ray. Now staying with Quail, there in the 4A ranks, where we had 5 Quail Lady Gobblers compete and the golf regionals also today at Colony Creek, and also we had 1 from Calhoun and 1 from Bay City. And here are some of the top results from the girls' 4A area as for day 1 for the Quail Lady Gobblers. They had, again, a couple of top placers in Kat Sheelick, who had an 86 overall total score. Then after round 1, the Mackenzie Moncrief shot a 99 for her opening round score. And then Bay City's top scorer in our area, Tanya Fair, had an 87. So that is the lowest score for one of the areas for the Crossroads. So tomorrow I'm going to head up there to Colony Creek to talk with some of those people there for the girls. And then for the boys, they'll start there Wednesday and Thursday. And also I'll have a chance to talk with some of the 3A boys. That will be on Wednesday. Now over to some honors for Refugio women's basketball star and current Refugio discus and shot putter Brady Fox-Smith, who again was awarded the All-South Texas girls basketball first team selection. And Fox-Smith this past season in basketball earned District 31 2A MVP honors and averaged 17.6 points and 13.8 rebounds and 1.7 blocks per game, all that per season. Also, guess what? She surpassed 1,500 points and 1,000 rebounds, which is tough to do in any season there. So congrats there to Fox-Smith for getting first team selection. Wish her luck also at the 2A regional track meet this Friday in Kingsville. Over to some Monday Night Baseball where the Goliad Tigers are hosting the Stockdale Brahmas at home tonight. Game's going to start in about 30 minutes time. Goliad is looking to keep atop of the district, which they are tying at 6-1 overall with Poth right now, so we'll see if they can do that there tonight. And then finally, yesterday was a historic day for the world of golf at the Masters, where PGA golfer Rory McIlroy completed the golf grand slam after winning the playoff round versus England's Justin Rose. And heading into yesterday, McIlroy was up and down until the last 4 holes where he had great iron shots, big putts to win. And again, this is first ever win there for the Masters. So now Rory, he joins elite company with getting that career grand slam. He joins now legends such as Gene Sarazen, Ben Hogan, Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, and Tiger Woods, an exclusive club of golfers that all won 4 major championships. So congrats there to Rory for completing the career grand slam there yesterday. That's going to do it here in sports. Don, back to you.
Thanks, thank you. We're back in a moment. A rare and historic blue diamond is set to be auctioned in Geneva in May. Finally tonight, a rare and historic Golconda Vivid Blue Diamond weighing in at over 23 carats is set to be auctioned at Christie's in Europe. It was discovered at the legendary Golconda mines in south central India, known for producing some of the world's most famous diamonds, including the Hope Diamond. The Golconda Blue is being sold as part of Christie's Magnificent Jewels auction in Geneva on May 14th. Estimates run between $35 to $50 million.
Ouch.
That's
what do you think,
a
Max?
lot.
Should we get our airline tickets and go visit? And
Yeah.
say,
Look under the mattress, see if you got something like that.
2 million.
You add that too.
3 million.
Ask our wives about that first before you go.
They'll say, yeah, go.
Yeah, they would, yeah.
Well, folks, it's a diamond-looking weekend as we get into this week because weather's going to be very comfortable. Now, tomorrow's a beautiful day, kind of like today. We'll get up into the mid-80s. By the time we get to Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, it's going to be rather windy during the afternoon hours, so hold on to your hats.
Thank you, Max, and thanks for joining us. We'll see you tonight, 25 News Now 10.